Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Here in this video, I would like to review the 10 articles that I have read in my extensive reading course. But before we review those articles, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Mutia Shalihah, and I am a student of English Education Department at Islamic State University, Jakarta. And you can find me on my Instagram in @mutiaSLH. So, the articles that I have read, it consists of 4 big themes. They are education, business, health, and technology. In this slide, I have provided a relation of those 10 articles, and the first article is the contribution of education system quality to improve the nation's competitiveness of Indonesia. This article is written by Wisaprom. So the articles discuss about the quality of education that impact to the nation competitiveness. But we found that in Indonesia, we still found many problems that should be solved in education area. Based on the analysis of competitiveness problem, Indonesia is known with the high level of corruption in the country. Corruption is the main problem of Indonesia in building competitiveness. Therefore, education for mental development is a top priority. And the second article is still related to the first one. The second one is still article about education, which is about teacher. And teacher never separate from education, because teacher one of the component of education. And to produce the good quality of education, we should have the good quality of teacher too. And what is the factor analysis of the good teacher? Here, this article is discussed about it. And the title of the article is Factor Analysis of Competencies of Teacher Performance in Secondary Schools in Svay, Rieng Province, Cambodia, by Dimanchetra and Methee Wisaprom. So this article discusses about the factor analysis of teacher competencies. There are 8 competencies that we can see to measure a good teacher. They are competency of planning and preparation, competency classroom environment, competency of instruction, competency of technological skills, competency of feedback, professional responsibilities, professional characteristic, and competencies of professional development. According to the confirmatory factor analysis result, it was a suitable model for competencies of teacher performance. The author finds that the model of the 8 factors and 40 variables were important to ensure the competencies of teacher. The next article is designing a syllabus of collaborative English teaching for physics study program. The third article is still related to the second one, because a good teacher should have the good way of teaching, right? And in this article, we will discuss about designing a syllabus of collaborative English teaching for physics study program by Esti. So, in teaching English, there is the recommended model to teach English another students of non-English department. And the recommended model of teaching English is collaborative learning, because collaborative learning provides subject lectures involvement in the curriculum design. From this study, the author finds that English for specific purposes syllabus is designed to fulfill the need of physics department students to read content area of reading in English for English of foreign language context. Next to the fourth article, this one is still related to the third. It's about the method of teaching as well as the third one, but this method of teaching is problem-based learning model for teaching math in 7th grade at SMPN 1 Banda Aceh, Indonesia. The title of the article is Improving the Students' Mathematical Problem-Solving Ability by Applying Problem-Based Learning Model in 7th Grade at SMPN 1 Banda, Aceh, Indonesia by Yuniza, Eviyanti, Edi Surya, Edi Syahputra, and Maruli. So this article discuss about the importance of mathematical problem solving to solving the problem, but in fact, the students of ability of problem solving in mathematics learning this time is still low and needs to be improved. So the authors intend to discuss about the differences of improving students' mathematical problem solving ability taught by problem-based learning and taught by conventional learning. And based on the research, the authors proved that using problem-based learning in teaching is better to improve mathematical problem solving of students than using the conventional learning. The next one is still about the method related to the previous article, also about the method, but this method is a method of teaching English for students in junior high school. The title is STUD as a Strategy of Teaching Reading Comprehension in Junior High School, written by Putri. STUD, Students Team Achievement, is one of the methods in teaching English, and STUD is one way to teaching English in cooperative learning, so the students will raise more comprehension in reading. So basically, this article tells us about if we want to teach reading comprehension in junior high school, the article recommends us to using STUD, Students Team Achievement, because it is helpful in keeping students' attention and focus toward the teacher. The next one is the article, still same as the previous one, but this article is talking about general self-confidence and its implication on students' achievement in oral presentation. If the previous article talking about teaching reading comprehension using STUD, this article is talking about the other skill of English, which is speaking. Yes, this one. General self-confidence and its implication on students' achievement in oral presentation by Agus. So, in order to communicate better, speaking skill is considered to be one of the most important skills, but in fact, many students still afraid if they are asked to present a material in front of the class. In conclusion, based on the process of research and the observed of students in speaking courses, it means the higher students' self-confidence, the higher their academic achievement in the oral presentation. The students who have high self-confidence are more fluently to speak in front of the class. Meanwhile, those who have low self-confidence tend to face difficulty to speak in front of the class. And the next article is still related to this article, but this article, because they are still talking about students, but this article focus on the students' mental health. The title of the article is Facebook Use, Envy and Depression Among College Students. Is Facebooking depressing? Written by Edson C. Gr, Patrick Ferrucci, and Margaret. So, the social media effects, particularly Facebook, to college students that somehow considering leads to the depression. Facebook is one of the popular social networking sites allows college students to express themselves by posting status updates, links, photos, and it also allows them to see other people's social life. This is, however, bring happiness but also problem that can cause envy and even depression to the mental health of the users. The author attempted to contribute to this problem area of important research, since still there are a lot of arguments about it, and the findings after the research about Facebook causing envy and depression among college students is not completely true. However, the students found no direct association between Facebook use and depression. In other words, the uses of social media have been found to increase happiness and entertaining. Second, they found that heavy Facebook users have higher levels of Facebook envy than light users, and Facebook envy links to the depression symptoms. Therefore, using Facebook for surveillance can actually make people less depressed, and it can also lead to the depression when users start feeling envious of others. Then the next article is still related. This one is about children. If the previous article talking about students' mental health, this article talking about students or children physical health. The title is Household, Parent, and Childhood Obesity by Sarah Gable and Susan Mills. So, obesity has become the serious problem in health concerns, and this article talks about the contribution of parents, household to the risk of obesity of children. And the major finding in this research is there are the significant relations between family, household, parent, and child variable factors that hold big contribution to the risk of children obesity. So, in the end, the authors say that parent knowledge and education of child nutrition and reducing the television children viewing needs to be improved to prevent the childhood obesity. The next article is building customer retention in online transportation. The title of this article is Building Customer Retention in Online Transportation by Simarmata J. Ihsan RB. This article discusses about how to keep the customer retention of product or services. In this case, the authors used the example of customers of Gojek, Grab, and Uber, and the factors that retain the customer retention. And the major findings from the research can be concluded that the characteristics of customer and services employees' orientation to customers significantly influence behavioral intention and customer retention. Or in the other words, behavioral intention influences customer retention. From the research explained that the customer behavioral intention on the online transportation services will determine whether they will retain or not, depending on the characteristics of customer and the perception of service employees' orientation to customer. And the next article is Proposed Marketing Strategy Based on Behavioral Intention in Using Spotify, Differences Between Free and Premium Users. So basically, the 9th and the 10th article still related because both of them are talking about how the strategy on how to keep customers in using products. The title of the article is Proposed Marketing Strategy Based on Behavioral Intention in Using Spotify, Differences Between Free and Premium Users, written by Nadia, Putri, Amalina. So, as we know that Spotify is premium music streaming platform that has very great users in Indonesia. And from the research, the author finds that there are differences on factors affecting the behavioral intention in using Spotify between free and premium users. So, the factor that keep the users in using Spotify is depending their behavioral intention. If the free users they're using Spotify is affected by the resources and the support that provides in Spotify, but the premium one they paid for experience the enjoyment and pleasure from using Spotify. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening. I hope my presentation is informational to you, and see you in my next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.